I wanted to share the perfection of yoga with you. It's very interesting. So, as a lamp in the windless place does not waver, so this transcendentalist, whose mind is controlled, remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendental self. When a candle is in a windless place, its flame remains straight and does not waver. Like a flame in a windy place, the uncontrolled mind is susceptible to so many material desires that with the slightest agitation, it will move. A little movement of the mind can change the whole consciousness. Traditionally, therefore, in India, one who seriously practiced yoga remained celibate. There are two kinds. One is completely celibate, and the other is, that is to say, he has a wife. He does not associate with any other woman, and his relations with his wife are strictly regulated. In this way, either by complete celibacy or by restricted sex life, one's mind is kept from being agitated. Yet when one takes a vow to remain a complete celibate, his mind may still be agitated by sexual desire. Therefore, in India, those practicing the traditional yoga under strict vows of celibacy are not allowed to sit alone, even with a mother, sister, or daughter. The mind is so fickle that the slightest suggestion can create havoc. The yogi should train his mind in such a way that as soon as it wanders from meditation on Vishnu, he drags it back again. This requires a great deal of practice. One must come to know that his real happiness is in experiencing the pleasure of his transcendental senses, not the material senses. This is very powerful because this is a process that I went through to eliminate the desire to find happiness in the material world. And I just found this and I was like, wow, a thorough purification of the consciousness is required for peace and happiness to envelope your experience. The activities of the senses are not to be stopped, nor are desires to be suppressed, for there are both desires and sense satisfaction in the spiritual sphere. Real happiness is transcendental to material, sensual experience. If one is not convinced of this, he will surely be agitated and will fall down. One should therefore know that the happiness he is trying to derive from the material senses is not real happiness. Those who are actually yogis truly enjoy, but how do they enjoy? Their enjoyment is unlimited. That unlimited enjoyment is real happiness, and such happiness is spiritual, not material. This is the real meaning of Rama, as in the chant, hear Rama. Rama means enjoyment through spiritual life. Spiritual life is all pleasure, and Krishna is all pleasure. We do not have to sacrifice pleasure, but we do have to learn how to enjoy it properly. A diseased man cannot enjoy life. This is so-called enjoyment, and that condition is all false enjoyment. But when he is cured and is healthy, then he is able to actually enjoy. Similarly, as long as we are in the material conception of life, we are not actually enjoying ourselves, but are simply becoming more and more entangled in material nature. If a sick man is not supposed to eat, His eating unrestrictedly actually kills him. Similarly, the more we increase material enjoyment, the more we become entangled in this world, and the more difficult it becomes to get free from the material entrapment. All of the systems of yoga are meant to disentangle the conditioned soul from the entrapment, to transfer him from the false enjoyment of material things to the actual enjoyment of Krishna consciousness. Sri Krishna says, in the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by the practice of yoga. Now, this is powerful because the Know Thyself journey, this is exactly where it leads you. It leads you to the silence and stillness of the mind, shutting down all systems that are in force or trying or in resistance or all of that. It just shuts down the whole system and causes you to access the perfection of every single moment and every single experience. This is perfection. This perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. And I just made a video on Gate 7 in the human design, self in interaction. It's like the self can now dissect the self and interpret that through their senses. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness, realized through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken, even in the midst of the greatest difficulty. This indeed is actual freedom from all miseries arising from material contact. One form of yoga may be difficult and another may be easy. But in all cases, one must purify his existence so he can experience Krishna consciousness. So one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. We have to raise ourselves in the spiritual standard by ourselves. Really, every man must seek on their own. And that is the opportunity of the Know Thyself journey. There is a very nice verse. No one is anyone's friend. No one is anyone's enemy. It is only by behavior that one can understand who his friend and who his enemy. I love you guys.